These students are now under shelter-in-place orders. We're actually going to go out to, I believe, Gigi Graciette, close to the scene there with more. Gigi.
Good morning, Brooke. Good morning, everyone. We're on Pacific Coast Highway looking at Civic Center Way, and you can see by my hair that the wind continues to pose a significant threat and a challenge to firefighters. The wind very erratic, blowing in all directions and causing this fire to spot ahead. Now, take a look. This is an open field right now, but the concern is it is burning right next to Malibu Canyon Village, which appears to be either a condominium or an apartment complex here on the 23,000 block of Civic Center Way. Again, Malibu Canyon Village, no damage. Firefighters are staged there for structure protection, but this is where just one of multiple areas where this fire is burning. Now, just a short while ago, the city of Malibu put out some information that could be important to our viewers. An evacuation shelter has now been set up at Palisades Recreation Center. This is on Alma Real Drive. It has been upgraded to an evacuation center, and they are accepting pets in carriers or crates. Now, if you have a larger pet, you can shelter that pet at Pierce College in Woodland Hills. And you might be able to hear the wind, which is certainly picking up, which it tends to do during the sunrise hours. And this is causing a big challenge for firefighters. In addition to the low humidity, the fuel moisture, these conditions all combine to cause what firefighters call explosive fire growth. And can you see the fire is sort of causing its own weather there, creating its own weather pattern? We often see what are referred to as fire nados at the scene of the fire, and that's what we're starting to see here, the fire situation creating its own weather pattern. And you can see how erratic the wind is. It just changes direction, causing the fire to spot ahead a mile or two, and that has firefighters just fanning out throughout the hills of Malibu. Now, let's go to some video we shot for you earlier. This is difficult to watch. Keep in mind, this is someone's home. This is on the 3500 block of Sarah here in Malibu, and we watched as this house was just burning. It appears to be a total loss already. We also watched as our colleagues, our freelance news photographers, were called into action to help firefighters start to pull hose, and they went to work. They put their cameras down. The priority is always saving property and life, even for those of us that are not firefighters. Those photographers jumping into action when they were called to help, and they began pulling hose, trying to help as much as they can. So a shout out to them, working hard, trying to document an important news story, but also knowing when you have a priority. Again, you're looking live at Civic Center Drive. You might be able to make out those embers that are just flying across Pacific Coast Highway. We're going to continue monitoring this. For now, we'll send it back to the studio.
All right, Gigi, thank you. Of course, we'll check back in with you in a bit. Right now, we have a live look from Sky Fox with Stu Mundell. Stu.
Well, we've been keeping an eye on this flank of the fire. This is going to be on the most western end of the flames, and this is where the firefight is still moving. These flames really starting to get into this area. Now, just moments ago, we saw a huge gust of wind just light up this entire area right here. It's hard to see right now, but there is actually a construction trailer right there, and you can see part of that construction trailer on fire. The wind shifted. There was this huge ball of fire, and those flames just started licking those buildings right there. Now, that is going to be a construction trailer, possibly maybe some sort of container, a little bit of fire there. There are firefighters nearby, but this home, I'm sure, is what the firefighters are very concerned about. They've got structure protection. We saw the fire trucks actually make their way into that driveway. Firefighters making their way through that home, making sure there is nobody in there. Where is all this? This is on Carbon Beach Terrace. Now, we're going to show you where this is and also give you an idea how close these flames are to that home. Now, mind you, there is some vegetation clearance in that area, but those flames are just about 200 feet away, maybe 300 feet away from that home in that direction. And if those winds kick up again, we watch those embers bounce around. Now, we've talked about it in the past. A lot of the homes out here are built up to code, if not even beyond code. This one, a much newer home, you can see right there, very little wood, no shingle shake roofs or anything like that. So I would venture to say that they've done everything they can to keep that home safe safe from any kind of flames. But again, with a fast-moving fire like this and those huge flames, it is very difficult to keep any structure safe. Now, on Sarah, we're going to try to show you that one right now. We've been hearing about structures being lost. Now, even Skyfox can't make our way over there right now, but we can show you on the map, and there is still glowing embers in that area. Now, that the right where I'm showing you right there, you can't see it, but there is actually the address of the 3500 block, 3600 block, and all we see right there is embers. That's the area that the flames have basically come through. That's going to be the burnt earth, the scorched earth, because the fire started more out towards Malibu Canyon and is actually working its way up the hill. Now, the only thing I can say in the fire that's helping the firefighters in the sense of nature is the winds are actually kind of pushing it against its natural climb up the hillside. That's what we're seeing right here, because you can see that smoke clearly moving on the opposite direction of where the flames are going. So they're trying to, the flames are moving up the hill, but the winds are actually slowing it down. Now, in this area right here, you can see on that, because we have the map up, there are no streets up here in this area. That's just going to be vegetation. As I say that, you can see there are some homes out here on Coastal Del Sol Way, and I also see some flashing lights that venture to say those are going to be firefighters, and of course that's what we're seeing right there, firefighters and structure protection. Now, every one of those lights that you're seeing, I venture to say there's a home there or nearby, so they're going to do what they can, but those look like smaller homes, maybe older homes. Hopefully those flames will wane before they get up to that area. We're definitely going to keep an eye on it, but this firefight, very active. Those firefighters down there, trained professionals, and really putting it to the limits this morning as that fire continues to burn and those winds keep pushing it through that area. Like I said earlier on when we were looking at that Carbon Canyon or Carbon Beach Terrace roadway area, look at that. There's that one home, and it is just surrounded by these huge flames right now. We'll keep an eye on it. I venture to say, just because of the condition of that home, the time and the building and the codes, I venture to say it will be safe. But then again, I thought for sure none of that construction material would actually catch fire, and that is now burning in that empty field right there. Firefighters, they're out there. They're going to pick and choose what they can battle, because sometimes, you know what, they just got to let it go, because there's very little they can do when those flames and those winds are pushing it at that type of velocity and speed. But right now, you can see it. This is an active firefight unfolding right before our eyes. Skyfox keeping an eye on it. And again, a lot of those streets out there, hopefully everybody's gotten out. But on those streets are all our first responders, and they're doing what they can to save structures.